Shalom, everybody. Y'all come on in. We'll get started in a little bit, y'all. Just waiting for brothers and sisters to come in. We'll get started. Shalom, Lord of Christ.
Hey, shalom, Lord in Christ.
What's going on, Warrior?
Ain't nothing much.
Alright. I already done hit the live button right now.
Come on.
But we'll get started in a little bit.
Okay, no sweat.
Yeah. Shalom, Lord of Christ. What's going on, Warrior? You alright? What's up, Christ? Yeah, it's a little chilly out there, huh? Yeah, I done hit the live button already. About to get started in a little bit. All right. Go ahead, get it in. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Brakathum. Yahweh Shemal done Ba'Shem Yahushua. It's Priest and also Shah by the Isupk. Start at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. That the book, the Bible called the Bible, is really the history of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous people, because we make up the 12 tribes of Israel. This is our true identity, our nationality before we became slaves here in America, right? And we've been teaching this all throughout the nation, even overseas, saying all across the earth, man, teaching our people, raising up the 12 tribes back to serving the Most High, right? So it's the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. from 6:30 to 8:30. We go live right here in Kissimmee, Florida. So if you're in the Central Florida area, if you're in Orlando, Apopka, Poinciana, Kissimmee, you know what I'm saying? We here in the library, in the Hart Memorial Library, every Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? This right here in downtown Kissimmee from 6:30 to 8:30. So stop on by. All right. Like usual, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to ask. You can type it in the chat. Also, I put the sign-in sheet. So if you don't have a Hebrew name, make sure you click on the link that I posted in the chat, so you can be counted for attendance. All right. So you'll just fill out the information. And that way, if you're looking to join the school or get a Hebrew name, you will be counted for today's class. All right. All right.
I do have a question, sir.
You got a question?
Yeah.
All right, let's get with the questions, y'all.
All right, so my question is, all right, so you know the scripture that says that, you know, if you have an unbelieving wife,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa, if you have an unbelieving husband,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, the opposite does believe, does follow the law, statutes, and commandments, that the unbelieving will be sanctified through the one that believes.
Mhm.
They can like win them over. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Okay, so concerning being born again, so the one that doesn't believe, I don't know if I can pull it. One that doesn't believe, would that one that doesn't believe be considered born again?
So you mean the spouse that don't believe,
Right,
in as far as like the truth or whatever,
right.
or what the scriptures say? You saying is that spouse that don't believe is born again?
Would him or her be considered born again just because she or he like kind of falls in line with the other spouse is doing? Let's keep it
Okay,
simple.
yeah.
Let's go with the head. So you got the man.
Mm-hmm.
He believes, he follows the law, statutes, and commandments. His rib does exactly what he tells her to do.
Okay.
Would she be considered born again?
All right. So let me ask this, right? What part of the other spouse, let's say, right, like the example that you use, you have the head, and the head is telling the rib to do everything that he wants her to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what part of whatever he's telling her that she don't believe?
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say that she doesn't believe. Okay, so she follows his instructions.
Yeah.
She follows his instructions.
Mm-hmm.
She considers and, you know, takes to heart what he says, what he tells her to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, you know, that she doesn't believe what he says,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's coming from him.
Okay. Well, she in the truth then.
Is she in the truth?
Yeah, she's in the truth if she's following.
Right.
Right. Let's say the husband is in the truth, right? And this husband that's in the truth is giving her directions according to what's right in the eyes of the Most High, telling her what to eat, what not to eat, telling her how to dress, what not how to look like, not to go out, not to do all that. And she obeys that and abides by that, then she is considerably in the truth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Her validation of being in the truth is her obedience to her husband. You dig what I'm saying?
Go.
Like that's what considers a sister being in the truth or following a man, right? Like even us, right? We follow Yahushua. He's our head, right? What considers us in the truth is not, being an individual. Is not just doing your own thing or doing whatever you feel is right. But we do what Christ said to do, right? Christ ain't physically here, but he has set men in place in order to teach others how to follow Christ or to follow him, right? And those men are physically here. You get what I'm saying? So as long as we listen to their instructions and what they tell us, that's basically that's the truth.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let me get John 6 before you get the scripture that you pulled, and you can continue with it.
John 6.
John 6 and 6 and 28.
Khan.
You got John 6 and 28?
Khan.
All right, you go ahead.
This is the book of John 6, verse 28.
Mhm.
Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God?
Right. So these are the people coming unto Christ, right? They asking them, what could we do in order to do the works of the Most High?
Right.
Right. Everybody can consider many things that they read about in the Bible and say that they're actually doing the works of God.
Right.
Right. You have people in the Christian church talking about they paying tithes, and they think that's enough for them in doing the works of God.
Okay.
You got fake Israelites who wear purple all day or wear whatever color, and they worship the new moon. They call themselves deacons and do whatever they want to do, and thinking that they're doing the works of God. But Christ is about to lay it down, what it is considered in the eyes of the Most High for somebody to be doing the work of the Most High. Right? This is what the Lord considers somebody doing his work. Right? Read on.
Khan. Verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God.
Yeah, this is the work of God, right? Read on.
Khan. That ye believe on him whom he hath sent.
That you do what?
That ye believe on him who he hath sent.
Right, that you believe on him, on whom he has sent. Right, a lot of people be like, well, I don't follow man. We don't follow man. I want to do my own thing. I want to be an individual and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you can't do that. You can't say that you follow the Bible and follow God and talk about you don't follow man, or you don't want to, be in the ISUPK. You don't want to be under nobody. You don't want to follow no orders and nothing like that. Right? But the works of God is considered by you actually following a man. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is breaking it down to the people because they had a problem with that even when Christ was walking around. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to follow Christ. You know what I'm saying? And Christ was a man just like you and me. You know what I'm saying? And you have these people who will come around Christ when he was giving out food. You know what I'm saying? They'll come around and hear what he got to say when, he's giving out stuff and healing them and all of that stuff. But they don't want to actually change their life. Right. Or do what they what he tells them to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even Moses. You know what I'm saying? Moses is, telling them to serve the Most High. But our people was like, man, we need manna. We need, the man now we from heaven. Well, we need something to go with this man. You know what I'm saying? We need some meat, some flesh. That was even enough. After they eat the damn quails come from the sky, now they say, man, we thirsty. Now we need something to quench this, that what we just ate. Like, they was not understanding that obeying what Moses is telling them, following Moses, you know what I'm saying? And following Moses' command is our means to our salvation. You get what I'm saying? And Christ is breaking them down to the people and let them know, you follow the men of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? You're doing the works of God. You know what I'm saying? You following the Most High. You get what I'm saying? Because the man of the Most High is going to tell you to do what? Yeah, what's going on, Lord? See, go ahead. Right, he gonna tell you everything that's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. He gonna tell you about the laws, the statute, commandments, and all those things. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a righteous man or a man of God would do. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna speak his own words. You know what I'm saying? But people don't want to follow man, and they think they can have a personal relationship with God. Right. You know what I'm saying? But your relationship comes from the man of God that's telling you how to serve the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with man, with us. When it comes to serving Christ, we don't physically talk to Christ. We ain't got Christ on our hotline. We can't just pick up the phone and be like, yo, Yahweh Shai, what's going on, man? Help me out with this. You know what I'm saying? We can't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? But we do have men that we obey and go to. You know what I'm saying? And follow. You get what I'm saying? And they tell us what to do according to what Christ put in these scriptures, right? And that's with man. Now with the wife is you're her head, right? The chain of command is the man is the head, right? Christ is the head. We follow Christ by following the men of God, or the men of Christ, or his disciples, right? And you have the man and you have the woman follow under. Now her validation of following Christ is not her skipping, the rank system or the power structure that Christ, the Most High set up. If she wants to understand anything about how to serve the Most High, who's she gonna go to?
She gonna go to me.
Right. She got to go to the man, right? Because the man is gonna tell her everything that's right according to a man that follows Christ. Gonna tell her everything that's right according to the Most High.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And as long as she follow that man, you get what I'm saying? She is doing the works of God. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'll say, yeah, she's in the truth if she's following you. You get what I'm saying? If she's doing what you tell her to do,
right,
and what you're telling her is righteous and is not nothing, get high with me or do this with me. It's all, righteous in the eyes of the Most High. She's in the truth. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what considerably validates a woman being in the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, but continue with the question.
So I got that perfectly. Okay, so how does that relate to being born again? By her doing just that, following, respecting the rank. Right. Would that be considered her being born again?
That's because that's what considers her being in the truth.
Okay.
Right? Let's examine, let's take it off, let's examine the whole general spectrum of the Black community and the Black household and the Black family. Not even just the Black, Hispanic and Indigenous as well. You know what I'm saying? You have fathers, like you have a high percentage of fathers that's not present in the Black household. That's not present in Hispanic household. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will say, well, the Black man is neglecting the child. You know what I'm saying? He's just being a deadbeat. But nobody considers the role that the mothers play. You know what I'm saying? It could be a possibility within those percentages that maybe that woman drove that man away. By what? By not listening to this man. You know what I'm saying? By not obeying him, by not being willing to submit to this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, she puts a piece of paper and a ring in front of the love that this man has for this woman. You know what I'm saying? Instead of rather appreciating all the things that he might have done for her, paying the bills, going to work, you know what I'm saying? Making sure the household is in order, you know what I'm saying? Giving out commands, telling her what to do. Baby, I don't want you to go out tonight. You know what I'm saying? You tell a sister that, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, she's going to be like, you can't tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me where to go. You know what I'm saying? You tell a Black woman, you can't eat pork. You can't eat crab. You can't eat shrimp. You can't eat lobster. You know what I'm saying? Red lobster is like a delicacy for, for the number one go-to one, if you want to oppress abroad, right? And if you tell them that you can't be eating these things, they tell you you're too controlling. You know what I'm saying? You toxic. That's toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? And they sister to actually appreciate her husband and adhere to his wisdom that she knows that's coming from the Most High, it's coming from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That is a sister that's in the truth. You know what I'm saying? That is the sister that believes enough in the man that she will follow him and knowing that whatever he tells her, you know what I'm saying, comes from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because it is not something that majority of our sisters are doing, just to be real. You know what I'm saying? You just have a few, rubies and righteous sisters that's in the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, that's coming and learning this truth, that's actually listening to a man. Whether if she don't have a husband, she will listen to a priest or a prophet, you know what I'm saying, or a camp leader that's in her zone. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would say that's being born again. You know what I'm saying? Because there is many Black women that don't even give a damn what a nigga got to say. You know what I'm saying? Let alone her husband. You know what I'm saying? But it's a constant teaching. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's not gonna be times where the feathers get ruffled a little bit, where you have to constantly show them what to do, constantly tell them what to do. It's a constant ongoing matter.
Right.
You get on the same thing with us. You know what I'm saying? Even when you get your Hebrew name and become an officer, you know, the work don't stop there.
Right.
You know, so you continue to progress, continue to grow. That's why we have rank of 50 and, you know, 500,000, you know, generals, captains, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you continue learning and growing in this truth. You know what I'm saying? And the sister that, you know, obeys her husband or is coming into the truth, she will continue to grow and learn how to obey her husband or how to obey a black man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what validates her being in the truth. She don't need to know, you know, the 5 reincarnations or the appearance of Yahushua. She don't need to know that. She don't need to know you know, she don't need to know well, give me something else that's heavy material. You know, whatever, you know, all the heavy teachings that we be teaching in the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, it's good for her to know that, but it's not a necessity for her to know. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, somebody grab me where it says the pasture of my flock is men. If y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's in Psalms, right? Okay, yeah, Kyle, you can just grab that. You know what I'm saying? And also it says in Psalms, it says, I am for peace, but when I speak it's for war, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this book is not just a religious book. It's not a fantasy, and we already know that, right? It's a book on how to build a nation, you know what I'm saying, and sustain your nation. You know what I'm saying? And every government is in Ezekiel
34 and 39.
Okay, God, most of
What was the second one? I thought it was gonna be the second. Go ahead. What was the second one?
It's I am for peace, but when I speak is for war. Along those lines.
I am for peace,
but when I speak is for war, something like that. You can, you know, it's something along those lines, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? These records are for us building a nation. You know what I'm saying? And like every nation, you have, you know, leaders and, you know, a army and a military. You get what I'm saying? And the wickedness of this empire, you know, he'll have women in a position that can, you know, put themselves in danger. You get what I'm saying? Like by placing them in the military, by placing them in the you know, in positions of power that can probably harm themselves. You get what I'm saying? Well, in our government, when we read these scriptures, it's for the men to understand, to get down, so that way we can teach our women how to abide by it. You get what I'm saying? Because we are the leaders of this nation. You know what I'm saying? Not no sister, nothing like that. No, you know what I'm saying? They still have a role. Not neglecting their role, but their role is not to lead. That's not their role. You know what I'm saying? The role is for a man to lead. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to Ezekiel first, and I'm gonna get to you got the Psalms one, right? Okay, let's get to Ezekiel one real quick.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And ye, my flock,
Mm-hmm.
the flock of my pasture, are men.
Are who?
Are men.
Are men. This is who the Lord deals with, right? When he want to set order and structures and judgments and rulers, you know what I'm saying? He does it through the men of our nation. You know what I'm saying? You don't, like we just read in John 6:28, you don't physically see the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And your works is determined by you following the man of God. You know what I'm saying? The men whom the Lord has sent. You know what I'm saying? And he sends men within our nation that we have to follow. You know what I'm saying? We're not individuals or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So these men are taught from the Most High as priests and prophets. And once we get it right, you know what I'm saying? And once we build up this military and build up this nation, guess what? We go out and teach our women as well. You know what I'm saying? And for them to submit unto us and to follow us. You know what I'm saying? And teaching our children along those lines. You get what I'm saying? So it's not her place to know all the mysteries and all the, you know, high, you know, understandings of the Bible, like the 5, right, the 5 appearances of Yahushua and all that stuff. Her role is to do what?
Follow orders.
Follow order. Follow the man. That's her role. Your role is to know all that heavy stuff that's in the Bible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're burdened with that task. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a heavy, important position. You know what I'm saying? And her position is a heavy position as well. She shouldn't be burdened with that type of task. You know what I'm saying? She should not be put in that predicament. You know what I'm saying? Because you're setting her in a position that she can possibly fail.
So like
Go. Yeah, my
I mean,
fault.
she should know the ratio of water and flour.
Get it, brother. You know what I'm saying? She should know how to, you know, right, Captain Shore. Y'all will tell you straight up. You know what I'm saying? Teach her how to know. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to know it. You know what I'm saying? Why he's out there fighting in that war? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to, you know, make sure the military is nourished? You know what I'm saying? You don't need food while you in war. You're going to run out of gas if you don't have food. You know what I'm saying? You gonna stop a brother in the midst of war for him to go cook? You know what I'm saying? Have that sister to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, she plays a role too. You know, it's fact. Like, you're gonna lose the war if you do that. You're gonna lose out on men. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, hey, brother, I need to stop, cook this real quick. You're gonna run out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need a sister to fill that role. You know what I'm saying? And she has to know that. You know what I'm saying? And she does that by making sure that she's taking care of the men that's above her, like her husband. You know what I'm saying? Go, you was gonna say something, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
That was the Psalms. Well, I think that was it on Ezekiel, right?
It's a
little more. All right, you go ahead. My bad.
Come. Ezekiel 34 and 31. Ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture are men.
Are what?
Are men.
Are men, man. You know what I'm saying? No, we don't have no women leaders in the ISUPK. No woman pastors. Ain't no sister gonna open up these scriptures and break it down to you. You know what I'm saying? This is not how we operate, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said that the pastor of my flock is men. You know what I'm saying? He chose men to be the leaders of this nation. You know what I'm saying? The most destroyed species on this earth is the black man, man. You know what I'm saying? The black man don't get no respect on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And he's the one that's supposed to be the strength of this nation. You know what I'm saying? The warriors of this nation. You know what I'm saying? The military and the army of this nation. And once you get rid of your army, you get rid of your warriors and your military, guess what? You're a nation that's vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? That's that can be conquered. You know what I'm saying? And our oppressor has manipulated our women in thinking that they don't need to listen to a man. Right. That they don't have to, listen to what he tells them. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's telling her in the context of trying to save her life. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like this, there's some good brothers out there that can, be looking out for sisters. You know what I'm saying? That could, give them some type of guidance and structure and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And a minute a man shows that here in America, you know what I'm saying, it is used as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? They weaponize it as if he's being too aggressive. When that's a brother that actually cares for that woman. A brother that actually cares for a woman will guide her and direct her and tell her what to do. Tell her what to wear, what to eat, tell her when to go out, when not to go out. And for the protection of her life. And as long as she follows that, you know what I'm saying, that is a sister that understands her role. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Christ is trying to do in building up this nation. You know what I'm saying? So if a sister want to be in the truth, I don't need your scripture breakdown. I don't need you to tell me what, the colors. I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I want to know if you can actually listen to what a black man says. You know what I'm saying? And that's what God is looking for. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Christ mentioned as well in John 6. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen to a man of God. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that?
And I am your God, says the Lord God.
Right. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Lord said, right? You had that for me real quick,
You just want 20? Just want 7? 120 and 7?
Yeah, you can just get straight.
Psalms chapter 120 and verse 7. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war.
For what?
War.
This is warfare we in. We in war. You know what I'm saying? And these scriptures, these records, is the tool that's going to help us in this war. You know what I'm saying? This is our greatest weapon that we have to fight against this oppression. You know what I'm saying? And it is not, comely or even righteous to put a sister in a battlefield like that, man. You know what I'm saying? She is not to be in the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Her role is to follow and be a helpmeet unto that man. So whatever that man needs for him to take an advance in this warfare, then she has to submit to that and help that brother out. If she really trying to, build his nation up. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he asks her to do, and if she listens to it, you know what I'm saying? That is a sister that understands her role and what she needs to do to help this nation. You know what I'm saying?
So
Go ahead.
I don't want to take up too much of the time.
No, good down. No.
Okay, so
and let's go. If you want to, we can go through the born again scriptures as well. I think it's in John or whatever. Or do you understand the concept of being born again?
My question is related to what was it? 1 Corinthians? Is it 7 and? I think it's
7 and 14.
7 and 14 or 7 and 13? Yeah, 7 and 13.
All right.
All right. So 7 and 13 through and 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this instance, when it's talking about, so how do these two scriptures relate to being born again?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
So 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were her children unclean, but now are they holy. So, it goes on to say, if the unbelieving decide to depart, then let them depart. But if they decide to stay and dwell, dwell with the one who is believing, then it's they're sanctified. Okay, so how does that relate to being born again?
All right. So you kind of answer your own question a little bit, right? Like it didn't say follow, it said dwell, right? Let's say you got for example, right? You got a spouse, right? A rib, right? Or whatever, that you be like, all right, we're not gonna celebrate birthdays. You know what I'm saying? She'd be like, I gotta celebrate birthdays. This, I've been doing this for tradition. This is, what I've been doing for a while. You know what I'm saying? So what she does, instead of trying to, leave you and say that you're wrong or wicked, she probably goes and celebrate it at her mama house or celebrate it at her grandmama house or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's still dwelling with you, you know what I'm saying? But she hasn't, been pushed to a point where she's like, I want to give up on this. You know what I'm saying? It's being too much, or it's too much on me or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But you gave her the order. You told her what to do and what not to do. And if she don't listen to what you told her, you know what I'm saying, that is a sister that's not in the truth. That is a rib that's not in the truth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Right. But you got a rib now that's willing to actually just dwell with you, right? Through the childbirth, or through you having a seed, right? Now you can raise that child up to be in the truth, right? Now you can direct that child on what to do and what not to do. Correct. You know what I'm saying? And that rib still got an opportunity to change her life as long as she's willing to dwell with you. You get what I'm saying? She can continue to do whatever she want to do, right? Until she decides to leave, or until the Most High judge her. You get what I'm saying? For whatever she's doing, you know what I'm saying? That's when it's going to, show that you was her protection. You was the only reason why, you know what I'm saying, by telling her, giving those direction, you know what I'm saying, the Lord decided to have mercy on her. If she don't want to listen to that, you know what I'm saying, she's liable to get a judgment behind that. Cool. Even while she's dwelling with that man. You get what I'm saying? Even while she's in that household, she's liable to get a judgment from the Most High. You get what I'm saying? Like, Go ahead, Trooper Canal.
It's like, so I was just gonna say, like, isn't it like to say like your light will shine on her? Like the more she's around and the more she's dwelling with you, the more you still follow the Most High. Eventually, if it's Lord will, it will turn her around.
Right, God.
She'll start like,
God. There's only but so many times you can tell her not to celebrate birthdays. You know what I'm saying? It's but so many times you're gonna be like, listen, I don't want no gifts being passed around in this house. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure if anybody come in here with a balloon and all of that, I'm gonna raise hell in this crib. You know what I'm saying? After a while, she ain't gonna want to hear it. She ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like she gonna rebel against it. You know, she gonna try to find slick ways, do it at her grandma's house, do it here, do it this, or low key sneak a gift under the bed or something like that, or something. You know what I'm saying? She gonna do all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But eventually she gonna get tired of you keep on constantly pressing your will onto her. You know what I'm saying? And if she obeys to it, that is a sister being born again. Right? She's hearing what the husband is saying. I ain't gonna celebrate birthdays because my husband told me not to celebrate birthdays. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a lot.
I got you real quick, Trooper.
So what I need not to do is think about, because what you just said, I mean, it just like click. So born again is not a one time born again. It is a consistent change.
God, most high
It's
Christ.
consistency and consistently changing.
God, it's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah, even childbirth, physical birth, right? In this world is a process. You know what I'm saying? You're being formed and for 9 months in that womb, getting all the nutrients and vitamins that you need or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you're finally being pushed out. Labor don't just you don't just pop out in a second. She has to push and push and push and push until you finally out. You get what I'm saying? And it's a whole process where she has to keep the baby in the hospital for like a good 24 hours. I ain't gotta 24 hours, 48 hours. Keep it in the hospital so it can run the proper tests and give the proper things that the baby need. Then you take the baby home and teach the baby its name, teach the baby to speak, teach the baby to walk. That's a whole process. You get what I'm saying? Until it fully grows as an adult and knowing what it should do in their adult life. You get what I'm saying? And it's no different with being born again spiritually. You know what I'm saying? It's also a process. Somebody got to teach you your name, teach you how to dress again, teach you how to walk, teach you how to do all of these things that you're foreign to, that you don't know nothing about. You get what I'm saying? And in that process, that's when you become brand new and start further go deeper into the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth is, following the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You follow the Most High by doing what? How could somebody follow the Most High? How could a man follow the Most High? Right, which is true. But who is the man that? Well, I probably just gave it to you, right?
Follow the man.
All right, following the man of the Lord. Right. You know what I'm saying? You follow him. He'll teach you what to say, what not to say, what to do, and what none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole process. You know what I'm saying? The woman is the same thing. You know, or spouse is the same way. You know what I'm saying? She's willing to listen to that man and gradually change into her role and being more submissive, being more obedient. You know what I'm saying? She's getting deeper and deeper into the truth. She's waking up day by day, until where she's fully in the truth now. You know what I'm saying? She fully understands her role. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I got go ahead, Trooper, in my bad.
No, I was going to say just say what add on to what you was not add on, but
get down.
Like you say, like the more you give those orders around the house, and every now and then you raising hell, she gonna be like, she gonna follow the orders without even knowing she following. Because she's gonna come in her head like, oh no, don't let me do this, because he gonna have something to say. So she ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? She gonna tell her friends, well, nah, don't come on with that stuff, because I ain't trying to hear his mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She gonna follow the order and I heard Captain Tazaria say this, give her time, because we didn't all change at one drop of a dime. We didn't change overnight. It took time for us to stop going going to the strip club to stop smoking weed. You know, we
Mhm.
gradually came along.
Mhm.
So the person that is like, you know, coming in newly, you gotta have patience with them.
Right.
And give them time. The same thing you were saying. So,
We got God most on Christ, and you know, we learned that concept of instant gratification, like right then and there, from the Christian church. Like we think, you know, and I'm just saying in general, because I thought this way as well, right? You know, when the pastors, you know, anybody named John in this building, anybody named, you know, my slave name in this building, you know, that could make anybody think, well, this must be from God. He talking about me. You know, so let me come to the front. You know what I'm saying? You walk into the front thinking, man, I wish God could bless me, man. I hope if I come to the front, God is gonna bless me. You come to the front, pass on the mic. So what do you want from God? What do you want God to bless you with? Oh, I need da. Well, God told me that He's gonna bless your heart and bless you with this, and then you just fall on the ground and shaking all of that.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that good feeling, like going up to the front. Yeah, I feel that a little bit.
God.
Your ass get home and get back to the hood.
It's back to the real world. You know what I'm saying? It's not back to the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, right. This is, you know, it's not, the truth is not, you know, like they say, money don't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? The truth is not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole process, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? If you want anything in life, you have to work for it. Anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't wish for nothing, and nothing just comes with a wish. You get what I'm saying? If you want anything done, like a nation or a government, you have to work for it. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
So Salagi, if I may, being born again. So you make that decision. You make that decision, or that point where you make that decision. Let's say, for instance, for real, she makes that decision that okay, now I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's a habit. Let's say something not simple. It's a habit. So now I'm gonna listen. Now being born again, or I'm gonna listen. It's a gradual process in order to
reach perfection.
Mm-hmm. Break that habit, that old habit. You know what I'm saying? Bring that old man into subjection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Just like a baby. The concept of being born again. Not coming back out the womb again, but learning to crawl, walk, become intelligent, learn how to use your words, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, I kind of see it now.
God, most on Christ. God, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, if you want to add anything too, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely add it.
One last question. So in that aspect, and I know it's very important. Okay, let me ask it like this, because I know it is important. So let's say Uriah is listening. She's doing what she's supposed to do. She's listening. She follows your instructions. Boom, boom, boom. But she hasn't had her name changed. How important is her having her name changed in comparison to her? She's still following instructions like she's supposed to.
I understand. And God, that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Very, very good question. Because, you know, in the Isupk, you know what I'm saying, we all get a fresh start, right? That starts with getting a new name. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you called in the world, or that you was known as, or whatever, that gets done away with once you become certified enough to receive your name. You know what I'm saying? You either have to do your 90 days or even past 90 days. You know what I'm saying? If the men of God seem fit for the Lord to bless you with a name, they will give you that name. You get what I'm saying? And same thing with the dynamic of a husband and a wife. If the husband seems fit for that woman to get her name, then that's his prerogative. You know what I'm saying? That's his decision, right? And I'll say this, and this is the way that a name could help, right? Like once you get your name, it's not the end all be all. You get what I'm saying? Your name is spiritual, right? It either determines two things, right? This is who you were or this is what they see in you. You know what I'm saying? Or either this is what you're eventually gonna become. You know what I'm saying? So your name could be, you come in weak as hell. Your name could be.
So like, is it for me?
Go ahead.
Okay, when you said this is who you were, or this is who you. Okay, you saying who you were meaning your old name.
No, yeah. Let me rephrase that. My bad. Meaning spiritually, this is what they see in you, right? Let's say, based on your characteristics or your upbringing. You get what I'm saying? Like it's this name fits this person. You get what I'm saying? This is that person right there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talk later.
Okay, God. God, yeah.
Like I think I was told too also to say like to like on the same line what you saying, it was who you aiming to be. Right. Like you building that spirit up to be this, to be that name. Right. Like my name Kanat, it means to train up, to be dedicated. Right. So I'm aiming my spirit to be one that can be trained up and to be dedicated in this truth. As I take it.
Nah, Khan, that's that's what I mentioned. That's exactly right. Like, say who you, not I want to say were, or who you is by your character and nature or whatever, and who you can eventually become. Right? Those two things is what determine your name. Right? So if somebody comes in the truth and they don't have a name, right? They come in, whatever, giving them a name can give them that motivation to actually fit that name. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's say, like the brother said, Trooper Kanat, right? The brother came in, as far as what I've known, this brother's always been solid in the truth. You get what I'm saying? And of course, there's still things that he must learn and go through and experience in order for him to actually reach up to the potential of his name. You get what I'm saying? He has to follow certain orders for certain conduct and certain behavior, and eventually that name will be more suitable than it was when he first got it. You get what I'm saying? So if you give somebody a name, like for example, like a ribbon name, you get what I'm saying? That may be, virtuous sister. It means, some silly, whatever you want to name a rib. You get what I'm saying? Right. she can be like, you know what? This name may not suit me right now, but maybe if I work hard enough, I can reach to the full potential of that name. You know what I'm saying? I can reach to the validity of that name, and it'll be concrete, and this is who I am. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. So names can help. You know what I'm saying? It definitely gives a good amount of motivation for any brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? That's coming in this truth and coming along in this walk. You know what I'm saying? And names are earned. You know what I'm saying? They're not good. What names are not, they earned. Names are earned. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta earn that sucker. Yeah, you listen.
I felt born again when I got my name. Like, that was the happiest moment in my life. Like, I felt like I was shedding skin. Like, I felt like a part of that old me was like dying away. That old man was dying away. Like you say, you get a new beginning coming in this truth. So now it seemed like when I got my name, it was like, okay, bam, I'm an infant again. I get to start all over.
Yeah, damn right. God.
Get to try. Damn, now I got help.
Yeah.
From men that done been doing this for a while, that knows that. Like, that's why it's important to follow a man of the Lord, because the man of the Lord done been through the things that you're gonna go through. He done been through that stuff. Probably not the same way, but I'm guaranteed that he can give you that righteous advice that'll help you get over that task or help you get through what you're going through, because he had to go through it. He listened to a man above him, and so on and so forth.
God damn right, man. Damn right. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how it works. Like, you got and I know you want to say some more, but I just want to, add a little bit on this. I got also Lapiat on the line as well, man. If you want to add anything as well, man, go ahead, get down, Warrior. You know what I'm saying? But, you got these quote unquote Israelite groups, these fake Israelite groups, where you got cats naming themselves. They got sisters that as soon as they join them groups, they just, I think I'm David. I think I'm this name. I think I'm that cat. Like when you haven't even done nothing in showing that you deserve to be called that. You know what I'm saying? Like everything we do in the ISUPK is spiritual. Those names is not just coming from Commander General Yana.
Right.
Those names is not just coming from Captain Shawar or from your camp leader. You know what I'm saying? Those names is given unto them from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's all spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And whenever you're ready, through them, the Lord is going to decide to give you your name through that man. You get what I'm saying? But first, you got to be ready. You gotta foot the bill. You got to be willing to do what you got to do to, like in a baby, you got to be, formed and grow arms and grow legs and grow an ear, grow a nose in that belly. You know what I'm saying? Before you can come out and get your name. You know what I'm saying? You come in here, you gotta form. You know what I'm saying? You gotta develop spiritually. Develop that arm, develop your ears, develop your sight, your hearing, your nose, all of that. So that way when you receive your name, you'll be able to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to know that this name is referring to me. Right? You got to develop that brain. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Got to do all.
Go ahead.
Not get that.
I named myself with my fake Israelite group. like nobody did. I named myself. I read the name. I liked it, and that was it.
Good.
And
it happens. It happens. You know what I'm saying? So in here you gonna earn it. You know what I'm saying? So
you appreciate it more. So you appreciate it once you earn that name because it's gonna mean something to you. And it should mean something to you. You know what I mean? And you gonna know that a righteous man see this in me. Mm-hmm. And it's a good feeling. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else sees something in you that you don't even see yet, that you don't even know is there. Mm-hmm. So they telling you this, and you like you say, give you that momentum to
keep on going.
Yeah,
right.
And going. Try to be that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good, further in your progression in this walk. You know what I'm saying? As far as what's been taught onto me and onto us. You know what I'm saying? Like getting that name could help. Now, if it don't seem fit for your spouse to get that name, or you don't see the potential of them of reaching that level in that name, you get what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in jeopardy and by just, giving them this name and, you're going to regret it, 10 days later. You know what I'm saying? Everything is timing, the right timing, the right, everything has to be fit for that man's eyes, for that person to receive that name.
So I can stay away from Sapphire.
You said what?
Stay away from the name Sapphire.
Yeah.
I go there.
God, man, but yeah, anything you wanted to add on to it or anything else?
Kind of a question, but it's more of a statement, like a statement question.
That's what
I'm saying. So, of course, no one outside of the truth is born again.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, get a brother A. Exactly. Not in the ISUPK. You are not in the truth.
Right.
Straight up.
It's like you too. If I may, it be men on social media that will troll you. I don't know if you guys been trolled before.
I don't accept it.
I got a block. Because I had called Officer Ricardo about this because every time I would post the Passover, promoting the Passover and another flag, just one dude just be trolling. You be talking crap like, why you celebrating the Passover if we not in our land and all this and that, like y'all don't know what y'all doing, y'all, how they come against the UPK.
God. If I may, let me get the precept where it says forever learning but not coming into the truth. If somebody can find that for me, Baba Shah. And let's get back to John 6:28. That was you reading, young man? I'm going to read that one more time, John 6:28, real quick. I think Banya, but I'll let Banya read. I think he'll read.
This is the book of John, chapter 6, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God?
Right. People think that they having the knowledge of we have to be in our homeland to keep the Passover. They think that's doing the works of God. People think, celebrating the new moon is doing the works of God. People think, well, I got God in my heart. I don't need to follow nobody. Every time I pray, I get a tingling feeling in my body. So I know God is with me. You know what I'm saying? Or I go to church and I feel happy. So I know God is in that church. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think they got their own personal idea of serving God. You know what I'm saying? Or their own personal concept of what it is to actually do the works of God. You know what I'm saying? Do the service of God and serving him, right? But Christ is going to let you know what determines a person doing the work of God. Read on.
Verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent.
That he do what?
Ye believe on him who he hath sent.
Right, that you believe on him who he has sent. Right? The Most High sent Commander General Yohanan. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to do the works of God, guess what? You have to believe that Commander General Yohanan is a man of God. You get what I'm saying? Or sent from the Most High. If you want to do the works of God, you have to believe that the men of the Isupk are sent from God. Other than that, you're not doing the works of God. You're not really serving him. You get what I'm saying? You're not actually serving him. You're just an individual. You get what I'm saying? If you want to serve God, you have to serve the men of God. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it starts from. It starts from serving the men of God. You know what I'm saying? Commander Jenny Yohanan is a man of God. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth. You're not serving God. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't follow the men of God. You know what I'm saying? You want to do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? You know what? When we did our own thing, you know what happened to us? You know what I'm saying? We got destroyed as a nation. We was in Egypt thinking we could do our own thing. I mean, in the wilderness thinking we can do our own thing. Cats wanted to, thinking, why Moses the leader? You know what I'm saying? Why Moses got, what happened to those cats that was doing that? They got swallowed up. The Lord opened up the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how important it is in order to serve a man of God. You know what I'm saying? Saul, they didn't want to listen to Samuel. He wanted to do his own thing. You know what happened to Saul? He got killed, lost his position of power. He wasn't even the king no more. Because he didn't want to follow a man of God. You get what I'm saying? Well, the Lord is not about confusion. He made it real simple. You want to serve me? You want to understand me? Well, guess what? Follow a man that understands me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it rolls. This is how it rolls. You know what I'm saying? You have to follow a man. You get what I'm saying? In order to serve God. Other than that, you're not following God. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So when it says that ye believe on him whom he hath sent, he wasn't specific. Of course, he was talking about himself because at that point he was the one that was sent.
Right.
But also, based on context, he was also talking about the other men of God that he had sent.
Exactly.
That's what the misconception is. Or that's what the Christians try to play on.
Right.
He's talking about him specifically. He's not talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Right. God. Yeah, God, right. Yeah, God. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the whole concept, the whole context of it is that they're going up to Christ for food, right? This is after that he gave them food while he was teaching, you know what I'm saying? And it was well fed and whatnot. And after he sent them off, some of them start to come back to him. And then Christ was checking them like, you didn't even come back because the words I'm teaching you or what I told you to do. You only coming back because of food. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? We did the same thing in the wilderness, right? We didn't want to listen to Moses. We didn't want to do what Moses told us to do and keeping the law, statute, commandments, right? We rather eat. We wanted the food, right, while we was in the wilderness. We wanted the manna. We wanted the water coming out of the rock. We wanted the quails falling out the sky. This is what we wanted rather than following a man of God. You get what I'm saying? And we repeat that cycle over and over again as a nation. where our people don't want to follow who the Lord sent. We think the works of God is being an individual and having your independent righteousness and having all the sacrifices and making sure that you're paying tithes and, you know, making sure you good independently. And that's all you need to do in showing the works of God, or you serving God. You get what I'm saying? Well, your service in God is serving the men of God. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Levites didn't even have an inheritance. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They were supposed to be taking care of their nation. Right. But all of that fell apart because everybody makes themselves a God. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks they can be an individual and they can be righteously independent and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to serving the Most High, he's not about confusion. He has an order. He has a structure set up. You know what I'm saying? And maintaining this nation. You know what I'm saying? And he set up leaders each time in this Bible. Many times he set up leaders to redeem Israel, to teach Israel, to get them back to serving the Most High. Well, it's no different this time. The leader that the Lord has set up in this time, who our king has set up, is Commander General.
That's right.
He is the leader of this nation to get us back onto serving Christ. You know what I'm saying? Which will get us back to serving the Most High. That's the way it is, an order structure. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's not everybody can be a leader. No. He chose Commander General. And Commander General, he didn't, you know, decide this amongst himself. He had to go through the ringer. You know, he didn't come in, he didn't start the Isupk. Mm-hmm. It was started by the Seven Heads. He came in the 80s, it was started in 69. You know what I'm saying? He had to learn under them, you know, train up and grow in the truth until he reached the office of a general. But once he reached the office of the general, you know what I'm saying, you have men thinking they can do their own thing. Breaking off, doing this, I'm that, I'm do. Eventually the school, you know, fell in some turmoil. It fell. You know what I'm saying? And Commander General was put in the position to lead this nation. You know what I'm saying? Like any office does, right? If the one in charge fall, guess what? The one that's in second command has to fill that role, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, Commander General, he held the highest office of the general. And once the leaders went off and did their own thing, guess what? Now he had to fit that role. He was placed in that position from the Most High to continue this truth, while other brothers try to make it, you know, cease to exist. You know what I'm saying? Commander General had to keep on going, man, and that's what the Lord decided for him. He didn't decide that for himself. So he is the leader of this nation. You get what I'm saying? You had that scripture for me, where it said, "Forever learning, but not coming to the knowledge of the truth."
2 Timothy 3:7.
2 Timothy 3:7. All right. You want to start 3:7. All right, Con, go ahead.
The book is 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 7. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth.
Right. Those are, like we just mentioned, those two brothers are the one that rebelled against Moses in the wilderness and spoke against Moses. You know what I'm saying? And it is no different in the time of Christ, right? That's why that brother is saying that. You know what I'm saying? You got cats that's forever learning, thinking that this is the way we got to do it. Nah, I think we should do it this way. Well, if you look at the stars and the moon, and when it shades on this side and that side, that we got to follow this observance on this high holy day and this, you know, all this vast amount of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But you're never coming to the understanding of the truth, right? And Christ made the understanding of the truth so simple for us, right? It's not about the vast majority of knowledge or information you have. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the vast majority or the emotion that you feel when a woman preacher is preaching on that pulpit. You know what I'm saying? What consists of her being the truth is following that man. What consists a man being the truth is following a man of God. You get what I'm saying? It's really that simple. Christ, you know what I'm saying, made it that simple, man. You know what I'm saying? And once we get back to that collective thought, we can start building a nation again, right? Stop thinking independently and thinking that it's only about you. if you think collectively, we can start to build this nation again. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Officer.
Sir, it's the more that you're saying it, and the more that I'm seeing it. You know what I'm saying? The more that you explain it, the more that I'm seeing it. It's just like children that follow their father, the father that follows his father, the father that follows the father, and because of the breakdown of our households, they don't see General Commander Junior Hunter as their father and grandfather. The brother might be your literal grandfather. Real. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's not what you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't see it like that. So when it says follow a man of God, your father was supposed to be a man of God. Your grandfather was supposed to be a man of God.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And they were the elders. You see what I'm saying? We were a real family. You know what I'm saying? And we got separated from being what is considered a real family. You know what I'm saying? We are really family. You know what I'm saying? It really is my brother. This really is my father. This really is my mother. This really is my grandfather. For real. You know what I'm saying? And that's the breakdown. That's the psychological breakdown.
Right. Get a brother ahead. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this during Hebrew Academy. You know what I'm saying? Like a nation consists of what? Family. Right? It's a collective or a group of families in order to form a nation. You get what I'm saying? So if your families are not in order and discombobulated, guess how the nation gonna be? It's not gonna be in order. Right? So you have to get the families in order. Right. And if we understand the concept of family, of what it is, the dynamic of a family and a proper family structure, guess what? We can get our nation back in order and back in structure. You know what I'm saying? That's why our King Yahushua revolutionized what it is to serve the most. Not, I want to say revolutionized, and not if he changed anything, but he made it more, he raised the totem pole, I'll say, raised the standard of serving the Most High by calling the Most High the Father, right? The concept was to understand the relationship between the Most High and man.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And he made it simple for us to understand by mentioning him as a father. You get what I'm saying? So that way we can, understand the roles that we play and the structure that's supposed to be set up as a nation. You got cats that, they wanted to kill Yahushua for that. The Pharisees and all that want to kill Yahushua because they're like, what makes you, like to call the Most High the Father? Are you a God yourself and all of that? They thought that he was trying to call himself God. You get what I'm saying? When he's saying, like, listen, I'm the son of the Most High. You the son of the Most High too. The scriptures say you are powers. You know what I'm saying? You are gods on this earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you come from the Most High. You get what I'm saying? And they didn't understand the concept because they didn't understand the role that the Most High played. You get what I'm saying? And that can get our minds to think in a collective thought. You get what I'm saying? This elder or this priest or this prophet that's over me, you know what I'm saying, is more so like a father figure or a brother.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And this sister that cooks my food after camp, that's my sister. That's like this elder said, that's like a mother unto me. You get what I'm saying? And the concept could bring us together as a nation. You get what I'm saying? That dynamic of a household. Go ahead, Oscar.
Just like when Yahushua said, this is my mother, this is my brother, this is my father. Them who serve
the Most High, right?
We didn't start taking that as a cliche. You know what I'm saying? Christianity made it a cliche. What you were saying for real. Like, it's literal.
Right.
Like for real. Not just something to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right.
Damn right, man. You know, say any more on that, boy? That was it on 2 Timothy? Or 1 Timothy, what it was?
A little bit more.
All right, you go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 8 in the middle. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith.
Right.
I'm going to read 9.
Oh, what 9 say?
But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was.
Right. As the cats that rebelled against Moses was also manifested as wicked men. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord opened up the earth and dropped those brothers in there and whoever followed them in there. You get what I'm saying? Well, it's no different from the time of following Christ. Yeah, you want to serve the Most High? Well, guess what? Follow the men of the Most High. They're trying to help your life. Moses was in that wilderness telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't want to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? And the end result was all of them died. Every single one of them died. The Most High got rid of them and only kept 2 brothers. Only 2. Joshua and Caleb was the only 2 that went into the promised land from that generation. You get what I'm saying? That's crazy. And think about it. They had elders. Joshua had an elder. Moses was his elder. You get what I'm saying? Moses was giving them the breakdown and encouraging him and telling him what to do. And even Moses couldn't go in. So he had to carry it on for the whole nation. You get what I'm saying? And you think about it, Commander Jenny is the concept is not far-fetched. Like, we live the Bible. He had Commander Jenny had elders. He had brothers that was above him. And they didn't get an opportunity to be in this house that we in right now. You know what I'm saying? So it was for him to continue on the truth of the Most High. You get what I'm saying? Regardless of what position this man played, whatever. That was the man that the Lord chose. And we were supposed to abide by that and follow that. You know what I'm saying? But our people want to rebel against who the Lord chooses. Because they want to be chosen. Or they want to be great. Or they want to be followed. Or they want the title. And they want the my feed done cut out. You hear me? You can hear me, Benjamin?
Come on.
Okay, God. All right, you know what I'm saying? So I'll finish that on John 6 real quick, Bunyan. Let me get verse 30 as well.
It's lucky. I'm going to pull it back up real quick. 1 second. It's the book of John 6. It's the book of John, chapter 6, verse 30. They said, therefore, unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What dost thou work?
Right, they're asking him. All right, so we got to follow you. You a man of God. Well, give us a sign then. Right? Give me manna from heaven. Give me quails falling out the sky. Can you make water come out of rocks? Can you do that for me then? Then we'll follow you. You get what I'm saying? And this is what they responded back to Yahushua. Let them know, listen, follow me, and I can give you something, that's more longer lasting than just a meal. You know what I'm saying? You worried about what's in your belly all day. You know what I'm saying? The Lord can give you a nation where you don't have to worry about that. You get what I'm saying? Read on.
Come. Verse 31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat.
Read on.
Verse 32. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the truth bread from heaven.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Moses suffered you, you know what I'm saying, and went to the Most High and pleaded with you to get that bread from heaven. You know what I'm saying? To get that manna, to get them quails and all of that. But you still didn't want to follow what Moses told you to do. You still rebelled against him. You still didn't want to follow a man of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You just worrying about your own self and your own satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is breaking down that same scenario. Same way you rebelled in the wilderness and didn't want to follow a man of the Most High. Well, guess what? Here is a man from the Most High, right? I'm a man of God. I'm showing you how to serve him. I'm telling you what to do. You get what I'm saying? And you don't want to believe it. You only worried about your bellies. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't want to believe that Christ was that man of the Most High, right? Read on.
Verse 33. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven, and giveth life unto the world.
Right. This is what Christ's role was, man. You know what I'm saying? He came not to just give you food, not to just make sure your bellies was full, but he taught you how to make sure you serve the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How to build your nation back again. You know what I'm saying? Building up your own government, making sure you do everything that's pleasing in the eyes of the Most High. So that way you can be saved out of your oppression. You know what I'm saying? The scripture said, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High, of the power.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And you know, if you want to be righteous, or you want to, you know, want your salvation, or want to know what to do in serving the Most High, you got to listen to a man that the Lord sent, like Moses. You know what I'm saying? Or like many of the prophets who the Lord sent, and we didn't want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? And it's no different, man.
No different.
God, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, it's so far fetched in the minds of the people today that they don't think that a man like Commander Journey Hunter could be Moses, could be Ezekiel, could be Jeremiah, could be that. Like, we haven't had a real leader in so long.
Right.
That really gives you progress. It
Right.
really shows you how to turn your life around. That really gives you results.
Right.
We've been duped so long by these Christian pastors and these Uncle Tom politicians. They got their own greed and they lust. They'll follow a wicked man. They'll follow a wicked man without any question, because his lust kind of ties into their own lust.
Makes them feel good.
Right.
Yeah.
But a man of the Lord that tells you we can build up not just us, but our nation again, you won't follow that man.
God.
Because you're thinking about yourself. You ain't thinking about your brother or your sister or nobody else besides yourself.
Right. And that's exactly right, Ward. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Christ was talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how you serve God. You know what I'm saying? You follow Christ, right? Christ is telling them, I'm the leader. I'm the one I'm the manna from heaven. I'm the one. I'm the Moses of this time. That's what Christ is telling them.
Right.
You had Moses, and he gave you the bread and the manna and the water and all that stuff. But here I am. I'm the leader of this time. You know what I'm saying? And the bread I'm giving you is not carnal. It's not something that you just physically eat and digest. This is eternal life on serving the Most High and building up your nation to get rulership. That's the bread I'm giving you.
Right.
Now, eat that up and digest that. You can spiritually. You know what I'm saying? But even at that time, they didn't want to listen to that. They didn't want to follow that. You know what I'm saying? They thought they can do their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's no different from today. Like you said, we don't think that, you know, Commander Journey could be in Ezekiel or Isaiah or Hosea or whoever was great in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because we read that and we don't see these people as actual men. We think it's like some fairy tale story that we're reading about when they regular niggas just like you and me. They took dumps just like you had to use the bathroom, all of that. I'm sure they had, you know, probably too, you know, eat too much hot sauce, their stomach get their hurting and they knees. They was regular men just like you and me. You get what I'm saying? And they don't understand when they read about that, you're reading men. And if you follow the Bible, guess what? You're following men. You're following a man. You get what I'm saying? Well, it's no different when it comes to Commander Jenny and Hannah. You know what I'm saying? You see him in the flesh. And that's why it's hard for people to follow him.
It's like you said.
Go ahead.
They've been following their oppressor for so long. If he ain't no pale face, they
Right.
don't want.
Right.
Like, you know how niggas is there. They don't nigga gonna tell me what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
They will stand a nigga telling them
Yeah,
what to do,
right.
but crack,
What?
oppressor.
Right. Oppressor, you do it to the T.
God.
You know what I'm saying? No question. It's something like Commander General was saying. Yes,
Right.
master.
Right.
What you need, master? This and that, this and that. But let a Negro come tell you like, hey man, nigga, shut up. Like, no, get out my face. Like,
Right.
you can tell me what to do.
God, they're right, man. Go ahead, Bayanya.
If I may, can I pull this precept?
Go ahead, get down.
Come. This is the book of Isaiah 30, verse 8 through 10. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. Verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Verse 10, which say to seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things,
Right, that's
prophesy
a good first
deceit.
one. My fault. Go ahead. Continue on my bad.
Oh, Salaki, that's it, sir.
God, that's a perfect precept, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear the smooth thing. You know what I'm saying? We want the manna. You know what I'm saying? I want to go back to the flesh pot. That's what I want. It's hard out here in this wilderness, Moses. Hey, give us some smooth things. You know what I'm saying? And it's no different from today, man. Commander Jenny Yohana is giving you the truth. He's giving you on the knowledge and the understanding on serving the Most High. But it don't give you a Rolls Royce fast enough. You know what I'm saying? It don't give you $1 million fast enough. You know what I'm saying? It don't give you all the smooth things and all the pleasures of this life. You get what I'm saying? So you know what? Well, I gotta listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what, man? If you want to serve the Most High, you're gonna have to follow a man of the Most High, man. And whatever he tells you comes from God. Right? Commander Jenny whatever he says and has put in place comes from God, man. He don't just do what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? Commander Jenny can't just wake up today and decide, you know what? This scripture don't mean this. This scripture means that. This scripture means I'm the Holy Spirit and I'm this, like most of your fake Israelites love to do. You can't decide what's right or what's not right in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's what the Lord decides. You know what I'm saying? And he has to follow to that. You know what I'm saying? He has a great responsibility in leading this nation. That's not no easy task, especially niggas. Oof, you want to lead blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? You gonna die before your age, man. You gonna rip all your hair out, man. You know what I'm saying? You gonna drive yourself crazy because it's not an easy task. You know what I'm saying? And he does his job and he does his task very well because God sent him. You get what I'm saying? And the men that come under him and come after him, we do our task to our ability and getting, better at it because God sent us. You know what I'm saying? God Most High Power sent us to do this job. And we're going to grow and perfect it. We're going to perfect our job, perfect our service, so that way our nation can be saved from this oppression. You know what I'm saying? All right. Officer Lapiyad, anything you want to add, soldier?
Can you hear me, sir?
I hear you just fine.
Yeah. So like, I was in the class, but I was riding in the car, so I couldn't really, chime in. Y'all been saying a bunch of heavy stuff I wanted to chime in on. So, you know what I mean? Like, I did want to say one thing though. Y'all was talking about the names with the ribs. Mm-hmm. I would say, yeah, you definitely got to vet because you give a name too early, you might regret it. And that's just, I'm just putting that out there,
Right. You're exactly right, Ward. Damn right. I'm saying that. Even when you are, my fault, but yeah, I just want to add this point. Like, even when you're up to the point of getting your name, they ask you first, do you want this name? You know what I'm saying? You could be like, nah, I don't think I don't think I need this right now. I don't think I want to get this and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They got to be aware of the goal that they're working for. You know what I'm saying? Do you want this? Do you really want, to get this name? So either work towards it or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, if they're not ready, you just gotta be like, sweat. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, but yeah.
Salaki, I wanted to add on to where it says, he believe on he who have sent him, or and but pretty much also what he also was talking about in there is believe on him. What he was saying, Salaki, the people that he's talking about as well is the ones that he's following himself, which is the prophets of the old. Now that's just a credit for them Christians that believe so hardly in the New Testament and don't believe.
God, right. He talking about an Old Testament cat.
Khan.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Christ was, there was no New Testament when Christ was alive. So he was trying to let them know how to do it. They didn't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we in the condition that we in today. Our people rebel against who the Lord chooses, man. You know what I'm saying? You said what? everybody want to be ahead, nobody want to fall, right? To what else the saying goes, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be that nigga. Like, god damn. You know what I'm saying?
It's time to be that.
Right, right. Till it's time to be that nigga. Then your ass is running away. You know what I'm saying? Scared as could be. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is not no easy task, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a man of God, we'll teach you how to be a man of God. It's not like it's something that's not obtainable. If you want to be a man of God, we will teach you how to do it. That way you can get your household in order. And doing so, you can get this nation in order. You know what I'm saying? But first, you have to be taught. It's not a self-proclaimed service. A man has to teach you how to fit this role. Other than that, man, you just playing yourself. You just puffing yourself up, giving yourself titles and names and thinking you're doing something. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord has a system set up, follow that system and we can rebuild this nation. All right?
That's like,
Go ahead, Soda.
and I was just watching. Birth of a Nation last night, and how he had the whole revelation of what he was doing was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like him going to these plantations and seeing the conditions of his brothers and sisters, it really changed the way he looked at things. Because like I don't know, like according to the movie, yeah, it probably was more to it, but for him to realize that what he was doing was wrong, he had to have some kind of, I don't know, spiritual awakening. Is that even a thing? Like for him to see the condition that they're in, and then you know as the movie goes along, like right after that, once he seen like when it was being force fed with those funnels and stuff, right after that he had the altercation with that devil, and they was going throwing scriptures back and forth. And he really realized, you know what? Let's start killing these devils because this ain't what it is. So I was just wondering, like, us being in real time, how was he able to see that?
Because the Lord.
I mean, I know it's like circle.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I know it's the pressure making the wise man mad. Was that the case of what was going on at that point in time?
Yeah, you can add that scripture in there. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? That definitely fits in there. And the reason why Nat Turner or somebody look the nickname of Harriet Tubman, right? Nat Turner revolution was based off of what? Oppression. Not only where did he get the motivation from? Go ahead, Absalabiyat.
It was the Bible.
The Bible.
Right.
The Bible is, he read that. It wasn't until he read that Bible where he realized what he needed to do in order to get free. Right. If you watch the movie Birth of a Nation, that's where he got his drive from.
Right.
Was the Bible. You get what I'm saying? Because he understood who he was. And that only comes from the Most High. Now, I'm not saying we should go out there and start, go ham on these Edomites, but the Lord decided that for him. You know what I'm saying? For him to really realize what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that shows that this book is real. Like this book is what can, give us what we need in order to fight for our freedom if it's properly taught. Right? And that also shows that we always knew who we was as a people. You get what I'm saying? Like people will say, well, slaves wasn't allowed to read. We're not Israelites, who's Africans and all of that stuff. Well, how is this man a slave who quote unquote didn't know how to read, but yet he picks up the Bible and reads certain books about the Bible and realize what he needs to do in order to get free? You know what I'm saying? This is not a white man's book. It's a black man's book. You know what I'm saying? And your freedom is found in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? So not only with the oppression, but also with the Bible is how Nat Turner was able to do what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I was about to ask you a question like that. I think I thought about it. I answered my own question. So like I was gonna ask you, so like if that was the case, how come it was so short lived? Like he didn't he made an impact, but it didn't last long.
Yeah.
Then I kind of thought about Samson, because Samson made an impact,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't last that long.
And here's the thing, and we think it didn't last long, but it had a rippling effect in the system of these Edomites. Right. Did you get the nickname? I want to also get one more thing. Did you get the nickname of what was the nickname of Harriet Tubman?
Moses.
It was what? Moses. Right. Harriet Tubman was a slave. Now, quote unquote, they didn't know how to read, like they let us say, or they'll say it's a white man's book that only teach you oppression and how to be a slave. But meanwhile, this sister, you know what I'm saying, was being called Moses, a character found in the Bible. If we slaves and we don't know how to read, how the hell we know about Moses then?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? She was given that nickname because she read that book and realized her role, right? The legend has it where, even with the legend with Nat Turner, the day of his revolution, he wrote in his memoir that he got a revelation from the Most High. The Most High gave him a vision on what day he should do his revolution. You get what I'm saying? Who knows? I ain't Nat Turner. The Most High probably told him, listen, I want you to do it on this day. Right, you know what I'm saying? And Harriet Tubman, the legend has it where she suffered an injury. I think she got hit by a slave master or something like that, where she would go into Caesars. Right, and she stated that during those seizures, right, that she would get visions from the Most High. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is how you know that we are the people of God, and that the slaves always knew that they was the chosen, right? And the truth came from slaves. This is how we was able to get this truth. It started out with the slaves, like Harriet Tubman, like Nat Turner, right? And I want to answer the question of the long-lasting effect, right? It is short-term, right? Because it was not the end goal. You know, killing our oppressor is not the end goal of us getting free. You know what I'm saying? That's just a carnal thing to do, right? We know changing our life is what's gonna get us free, but it had a great impact further than what we've been taught or what we know of Nat Turner, right? Somebody can pull me up the slave Bible when it was created. Give me the year when the slave Bible was created.
So like it, sir.
Go ahead.
Based on what I pull up, it said 1807.
And what?
1807.
Now, somebody pull me up the Haitian Revolution.
It was 3 years after that.
Get free? You said what?
It was 3 years after that.
It was what?
3 years after that.
3 years after the Haitian Revolution, the slave masters decided to make a Bible with all the the rebellious and the revolutionary parts out of the Bible. Now, ask yourself, why would your oppressor make a book, you know what I'm saying, that we didn't know how to read? We didn't understand, or it was a white man book. Why would you make a separate book? Or after 3 years after the Haitian Revolution? Why do you think he would do that?
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? It was in rebuttal to what happened. It's like, okay, I saw this, and they do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we see how they responded. We need to make for sure that this doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's implement something to make for sure this doesn't happen again.
Exactly. God. And now somebody get me when Nat Turner did his revolution.
So like it, sir.
Go ahead.
Based on what I'm seeing is 1831.
1831. Years after the slave Bible was implemented. You get what I'm saying? Like years after.
Salaki, you must not have been reading it.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? The revised version.
Yeah. The reason why they put this slave Bible in place Because many slaves was rebelling against the slave master after the Haitians. Right? The Haitians put a ripple effect amongst the slaves to rebel, right? And they got they I want to say they motivation to rebel from reading that Bible. You know what I'm saying? So you know what our slave master did? He said, you know what? I'm gonna make a book called the slave, called the Bible, right? But it's only gonna be exclusively for slaves. And when the slaves read this, they're gonna be more of a servant unto me. You get what I'm saying? Because what's in the actual Bible is motivating these slaves to rebel. You know what I'm saying? In a crazy amount. You know what I'm saying? And after Nat Turner rebelled, you had many rebellions that happened. You know what I'm saying? And that continued to push these oppressors to be like, you know what? We're going to have to come up with a new system of making them our slaves. Right? The slave Bible didn't work. Right? You had cats like Nat Turner and all these cats that was rebelling. The Louisiana rebellion. It was many rebellions that happened all across the South. You know what I'm saying? After they came up with the slave Bible. Right? So they was like, you know what? We're going to have to come up with a new system now. And you know what they did? Systematic slavery now. Right? They so-called freed you. You know what I'm saying? When it wasn't really about freeing you. It was losing too much money during these rebellions. You know what I'm saying? These cats was losing out on money. They slaves was they breadwinners. You know what I'm saying? They was making money for that plantation. And you have all these slaves rebelling against the plantation. They losing out on money, on stock, and things that they invested for the slaves to do. You know what I'm saying? So they came up with a way on how to make you a slave systematically. You know what I'm saying? Or a mental slave. You know what I'm saying? And it all started from us understanding who we were, from us reading that Bible. This is why your oppressor made that book, is because we read that book. The Haitians read that book. Nat Turner read that book. Harriet Tubman read that book and knew that book was talking about them. You know what I'm saying?
So
And
like,
then go ahead. I'll stop there.
no, go ahead, sir.
Nah, get down.
Oh no, I didn't know if y'all brought it out earlier, but what you were saying about the Harriet Tubman thing and also with the reading thing, that proves that they knew how to read.
Right.
First of all, because even being a slave, you got to know how much cotton is coming in on the shipment. The slaves ran that, so they had to read documents and know, what I'm saying, what cargo was, and how many, horses, sheep, whatever. So they had to know how to read. Just recently, Captain Tazariak brought out that Harriet Tubman's family, this is documented, knew that they were Israelites. And she even had a Hebrew name, and he was bringing out the documentation on it. And he was arguing with Sinetta and them about that. It was a video titled "Oral Tradition versus Documentation." But Harriet Tubman's family later on in their memoirs writing said that they knew and understood that they were Israelites. So it was not that we couldn't read; they just didn't want us reading the Bible. And for that reason that you're talking about now.
Damn right, man. Damn. You know what I'm saying? We always knew who we were. And we didn't get that from Kemet. We didn't get that from the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead ain't pushed those slaves to rebel. It was this book that we reading from right now. You get what I'm saying? And those slaves that rebelled, that end up getting their freedom, quote unquote, their freedom, taught others people. You know what I'm saying? Taught their grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? Taught their offspring. And you have brothers like Yaquab and Ariyah who left here from Florida, went up to New York. You know what I'm saying? Because they were taught by slaves of who they were. Slaves is the one that taught them their identity. You get what I'm saying? This is how you get the inception of the ISUPK. These brothers went up and met up with Abba Bivens, you know what I'm saying, and started their organization, right? And later on, you have 4 more brothers who came along and we became the whole 7 heads after Abba Bivens passed away. You get what I'm saying? And this is how the ISUPK started up. You know what I'm saying? So our people as slaves always knew who we were. You know what I'm saying? And it had a great rippling effect in the white man system. You know what I'm saying? To the point where they was losing out on money and doing all that stuff, where they had to make sure they come up with a new way. And that new way helped progress other brothers, to leave where they was at and come here to New York. You know what I'm saying? And get this truth going. You get what I'm saying? Like it's everything happens through the Most High will. So that's the only thing I would say. You know what I'm saying? You gonna say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just like still thinking about them not being able to read. Like in another movie, 12 Years of Slavery, he was a what do you call that? Person that build buildings, architect.
Mm-hmm.
He was an architect. Mm-hmm. Like he knew how to read the blueprints on building houses and building certain buildings. So of course they had to know how to do math and read. Right.
Salaki, if I may, that whole nonsense about our brothers and sisters not knowing how to read in slavery, that's the biggest misconception.
Right.
It's such garbage, it don't make no sense.
Right.
When they extracting, they're extracting so much knowledge from us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Yeah, that was nonsense. It was brothers building the slave houses. The slave houses, the plantations, they were building them. They were going over and getting them out of Europe and bringing the brothers back over here as architects to build their slave plantations, their houses. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest lie in the world.
Right.
Mm-hmm. One of them.
Right. God,
the biggest one.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
God, go ahead, but yeah, my bad.
I'm if I may, I'm looking at the slave Bible right now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have Revelations in here. There's so many books missing from it. It
Right. They don't even have Revelations in there.
It ends on 1 John.
It ends on 1 John. Yeah, what is it? Service obey your masters. I bet that's the last verse they needed, huh? And if you look at the book, how thick is the book? Like the thickness of it will probably it'll perceive as if it has all the books in it, right?
Come on, I got the picture right here.
Yeah, if you could post a picture so the brothers and sisters can see. Like it's thick enough to be perceived as if it has all the books in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The thickness of it, you would have thought it has every single book.
Right.
But they just took out so many, pieces of the book and just fed you Christianity. Yeah. This is where Christianity comes from the slave Bible. You know what I'm saying? Christianity, there's no Christianity in the real Bible. You will not find Christianity in it. You know what I'm saying? But what you will find Christianity is what they fed you through the slave master. You know what I'm saying? If y'all see that image right there, that's what they fed the slaves, man. Because the slaves understood who they were. They understood who they were. They knew in order to stop all these rebellions that's going on and all these revolutions that's going on, I have to change the Bible, right? They didn't think of getting rid of the Book of the Dead. They didn't think of, they didn't think of nothing else. Their main thought was the Bible is the problem. Because our people was reading it and we understood what it was about. You know what I'm saying?
I made too.
Go ahead.
One of the first scriptures that I went to was Deuteronomy 28:68. They don't got that in there for sure. So
good night.
So they definitely, and I was going for Revelations, one that's describing Christ, and damn sure they took that out of there because that would destroy everything that they was thinking about.
Good night, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what the book is talking about. It's talking about blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people, man. You know what I'm saying? And your oppressor knows that. He knows your history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He knows who you are, or else he would not made a slave Bible. You know what I'm saying?
So like
you know what role you play. Go ahead, Officer Lafayette.
You know what's funny about that too? Even after the slave Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in a Christian church, they used to just give you like the New Testament. Like just the book with just the New Testament in it. Like, I mean, where's the rest of it at? You know what I mean? Like, we just need. That's wild. That's crazy.
Damn right, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just and it's the compact one too, right? I think it is like the little pamphlet joint.
You know what I'm saying? You can fit it in your pocket.
God, fit it in your pocket, man. Let's get Revelations 22:18. Like these scriptures are the meaning to life, man. This is what's gonna get us out of this captivity. Go ahead, soldier.
The book of Revelations, chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the word of the prophecies of this book.
Mm-hmm.
If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Right. This is why he said, what was that? He said Slocky had songs in it too much. Right, God. Right, God. Yeah, they had the songs in the Christian Bible. My bad. Yeah, I was just reading the comment. Go read that one more time. My bad.
Come. Revelation chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify to every man that heareth the words of the prophecies of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who add on to what's originally written in these scriptures, you know what I'm saying? God is going to add unto you the plagues that's written in this book. Meaning he is going to punish you. This is why this place is getting punished right now. Right? Get ready for World War III because it is coming. You know what I'm saying? Russia is gearing up right now, getting ready to invade Ukraine. And America is just trying to stop Russia from invading Ukraine. And once they get that popping, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have World War III all over this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? All type of allies on both sides is going to get involved in this war. You know what I'm saying? Because they went against the words of the Most High. They made themselves to be God by giving you that slave Bible, by giving you Christianity, man. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of and if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life.
Right. This is what God is going to do, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be rejected by God. God is going to punish you if you add or remove what's written in these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? We understand that this King James Version is to be true, you know what I'm saying? Because based on the historical records that was passed down and held and archaeological evidence. You get what I'm saying? You have the Dead Sea Scrolls that was held on to that matches up with the words that's written in the King James Bible. I'm saying everything that's written in there matches up with the scriptures and what books that's in there or what books are supposed to be in there. You know what I'm saying? The book of Jubilee is not in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The what else books they got? Enoch. The book of Enoch is not in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Revelation of Virgin Mary, some bullcrap. They got all type of nonsense that's out there. All these books was not kept in these records, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we always kept our records together because we knew who we were. You know what I'm saying? And King James took the original records and translated them. He didn't add or rewrite nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we read from today. Go ahead, Soldier.
It's like to say, for me, I don't know, I can't remember where I seen it at, but they even had a book of Adam and Eve.
Oh yeah, a book of Adam and Eve.
It's a Bible. It's some kind of Bible book that it had like add-on chapters. And it had a chapter about Adam and Eve.
Yeah, okay.
talking about that when they bit the apple, they had to stay in the river.
That's the first mistake.
Yeah. When they bit the apple, they had to stay in. When they transgressed against the Most High, they had to stay in the river for so many amount of days and repent for their sins. And Eve got out of the water, and they had to do it all over again. I read a few pages of it, and it was like, this shit here, I go way out. Like, who came up with this shit? Like, you see this shit?
Right. That's what they do to maintain power on this earth or to maintain control on this earth. They understood if they take these records, right? This is what proves the power of the Bible. Because they ain't taking no other book or no other belief system and making it their own. They only taking the records of the Israelites and made that their own. You get what I'm saying? You have many, ancient civilizations that have records on this earth. They ain't taking the Buddha God and making him the, you know what I'm saying? They take the records of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand the power that's within these books, man. You know what I'm saying? And they know if we can make this about us and make all these other books and Book of Adam and Book of Jubilee, all type of books, I can maintain power on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Because this book is what established powers on this earth, man. Because it comes from the Most High. You know, so you gonna say something, Sora?
I was gonna ask this, but probably not. Esau is just a disgusting, human being or whatsoever. But I was gonna say, do you think that they regret, selling their birthright or giving up their position?
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why he tried to be the people to right, God. You know what I'm saying?
So like, for me, he regretted it back when he
Right.
he
was crying.
He brought Isaac that venison.
Yeah.
And he was like,
He regretted it
that's me,
afterwards.
even me. Like,
God.
you got that for me? It's like, nigga, you gonna be a murderer.
God.
Like, you gonna be a killer.
They even got Oscar Zach said they even got the book called Gospel According to Judas. I guess Judas got a book too. They even gave a book to Judas.
So before he went and hung himself, he wrote down a few.
Right, he wrote a few things down. Come on now.
Is that the book they used to stir up that empathy?
Right. Like Judas was a good guy, and we gotta forgive Judas. Judas was a traitor, man, straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Snitch. He was a snitch, and he was not, desired by the Most High. That's why he got his judgment. The hell with all that empathy crap. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel sorry for the brother that's hung out on drugs in your own neighborhood that's suffering poverty. You know what I'm saying? But you want to love your traitors because they got riches and wealth on this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Still argue, sir.
Most High is not about traitors, man. Go ahead, Salapia.
My bad. Last book. They got the Apocalypse of Paul. Don't forget that one.
Apocalypse of Paul. Yeah. Good night.
Supposedly that one was found in Israel, like where he stayed at, like he had it buried like under a rock or something like that, and somebody found it.
God, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the story that they tell you. You know what I'm saying? They push these propaganda books so you don't find out who you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord, the Spirit is in this book. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, he knew what he was doing. He made for sure he maintained the right amount of books that he needed to maintain. You know what I'm saying? From Genesis to Revelation is right, exactly what you need. Nothing more, nothing less. And he maintained that so we can know who we are, so we can come back to serving him.
It's definitely enough.
Exactly, right. It's enough for Harriet Tubman. It's enough for Tamir, Nat Turner. It's enough for Haiti. You get what I'm saying? And your oppressor knows that it's enough.
They said ancient references. It's like it started in 1791 up to 1804.
Because we knew who we were. And they got this man named if you ever look up this man, what you got, Banyanya? He says the lost book of the Bible.
The lost of the Bible had a book. The Bible had a book.
Oh, good night. The lost books of the Bible. What that mean? What that is? They trying to give you the all them fake books over there. Yeah, man, that's what they do. Go ahead, Banyanya.
You have Mary half chapter, empathy, Christ and Abargus, Nicodemus.
Yeah, man.
So like, sir, as Banyanya is that the one with the book of Adam and Eve in it too?
Do they got the book of Adam and Eve in there?
That one that you're talking about is the lost book of Eden.
Oh, the lost books of Eden is the one. God. You know what I'm saying? God. Like the history of the Bible is that we always knew who he was. Right? And the law, statute, commandments was always put in place before we even wrote it down. You get what I'm saying? It was passed down orally, like meaning families. Like we didn't become a nation until we left out of Egypt. But before then, we only, the Lord had his chosen through bloodline, right? So you had Adam and then Noah, and then Shem, and then his family, and then his family. You get what I'm saying? And his cousin, his brother. So they told him before we became a nation. So we always had the law, statutes, commandments. It wasn't until we went into Egypt is when we made record of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We kept those records down, wrote them down. You had scribes, you had, brothers who wrote them down on stone, brothers who wrote it down on actual paper. You know what I'm saying? Paper is ancient. You know what I'm saying? Paper is not, a new invention. Right. You got papyrus, parchment. You get what I'm saying? Either if it's not made out of a tree, they use a plant. You get what I'm saying? You have many forms of paper.
Wax.
Right. Wax, all of that stuff. Stones, they call it stelas today. You know what I'm saying? Where we made ancient carvings on rock. And we held on to that and maintained it within our nation. Went into Africa. We knew who we were. We took those papers with us. You get what I'm saying? We took those records with us. You get what I'm saying? And that's how we was able to know who we were in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? You have a cat named Bookman, right? If you ever look up the Haitian Revolution, a cat named Bookman, they try to say he was a Muslim, right? Or he had they'll say things like an Abrahamic religion, right? The only way you have an Abrahamic religion is either understand who Abraham is, right? Through his faith, right? But they'll say he's Muslim. Well, what is a slave doing with understanding who Abraham is and having a same belief that lines up with Abraham in the Bible? You get what I'm saying? What is a slave doing reading about Abraham and knowing what to do according to the Bible? You get what I'm saying? And that was before 1805. This cat was, they knew him to have books on him. So they called him Bookman. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If I may, that don't even make sense because Abraham wasn't a Muslim.
Right.
But that was in Muslims came years after. So like to say that he had an Abrahamic religion, it's just another word of saying that he was an Israelite.
Right. God, right. You're right. They slick with it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They'll never give you the full, they'll say Abrahamic or, oh, he's just Muslim. You know what I'm saying? He believes in the Quran and all that stuff. But like you said, Quran came years after,
right?
Even years after Christ, the Quran came. You know what I'm saying? And our people was, we always knew who we were. This is what pushed us to the revolution. You know what I'm saying? To get free and fight back. You know what I'm saying? And our oppressor gave us the slave Bible. You dig what I'm saying? With that, man, we're going to end the class, man. The water, everybody coming through. If y'all brothers want to add anything else, my bad. I want to just clip it without y'all saying anything. You said what?
So I'm Tawab, sir.
All right, God.
Yeah, I'm Tawab, sir.
Tawab. All right, Most High Christ, man. Big up, man. Big up Al-Sarai Yala, Al-Salapiyat, Chupa Kanat. But young, y'all give it up, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll get down. Class will continue on the same channel tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to Isupk Florida. With that, say shalom, y'all.